Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bourbon Bikes and Business with Hank and Blaise. Blaise, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Happy New Year, everyone. Had a great New Year's. Just chilled. Didn't do anything special like you, traveling around.
Yeah.
But all good.
Good. We had a little shindig at the house. Just a few people over, and it's a good way to bring in the new year. The best part, right before the party started, the Steelers won and kept their playoff hopes alive. So
yeah, that's amazing.
It was a very happy New Year's for me. And we play your team this weekend, Mr. Blaise.
Oh,
so
that's
we'll
going
see
to
how
be
it goes.
cool.
Are the Steelers sweep the Ravens this year?
Go Ravens. Go Ravens. Yeah.
All right. So we have an exciting show for you today. I have a couple updates on my projects, as always, coming to you today. We are also going to talk about Blantons and a couple of the secret tips with Blantons and the taste, do a little review. Then we're going to talk amongst ourselves about e-bikes and how we feel about e-bikes between us. And then we're going to discuss our New Year's resolutions. And we have, potentially a big ride in store for us this year and a couple other things going on. So I'm ready to jump into it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. So you want to know? Go ahead. What are you drinking today?
Well, I was just going to say, before we dive in, just remember to like and subscribe if you can. It really helps the channel. So, Blaise, what do you got for us today?
I have my favorite bottle of 2023. Remember, going back to one of our earlier shows, my trip to Kentucky, I said one of my finds turned out to be, it was the only bottle I saw on the shelf. And this is a Heaven Hill product, actually under the Heaven Hill name. So it's actually the Old Fitzgerald Distillery, which is a Heaven Hill product under their umbrella, out of Bardstown.
Okay.
Here's what it is.
Oh, yeah, some Larceny Barrel Proof.
Larceny Barrel Proof. Check out that proof. 126.4.
That's a good one.
Batch C923. I was reading the bottle before I came on here, and it talks, it has a key. See the big key there, Larceny. So this is the black label. You can find the white label just about everywhere, but it's a little tricky finding this. This is cast strength, right out of the bottle or out of the barrel. But basically it says John Fitzgerald was a treasury agent, and he had the keys to the rick houses where the barrels were. So he used to go in and sip, occasionally check a barrel here or there on the side. And that's how the story goes. And that's how they came up with this barrel proof, which is basically, it says it's a small batch made from a mingling of 6 to 8 year old bourbons that are bottled uncut and without chill filtration. So it honors the superb taste of the lawless treasure agent, John Fitzgerald.
All right.
That's where they came up with it. So.
Good drink. I think I have a bottle of that myself back there. So that's a good one. Now, before I get to my drink of the day, which will also be our first topic, I want to show you what I picked up the other day because I think it's a pretty cool add to the collection.
What's that?
Check that sucker out. So this is the Whistle Pig limited edition piggy bank. It costs a few pennies that would otherwise go in the piggy bank, I'll tell you that. But apparently they came out with like 4 of the original bottles last year that they actually auctioned off for charity. I think they were going for $125,000 a piece or something like that. And so they made a bunch of these this year as kind of like replicas of that. Inside is 10-year rye, the Whistle Pig 10-year rye, but it is, I don't know if they would call it the barrel proof version. It's proofed up. So it's an extra 10.
So hold on. There's bourbon in that?
Yeah. You pour it out the butt. See it? The wax.
That was just a piggy bank, but no, it's got bourbon.
A whiskey in there. Whistle Pig rye whiskey, 10-year.
Oh my God.
110 proof. The typical, I believe, is 100 proof, and it's proofed up to 110, and it's a special kind of collector's edition, limited edition. So I saw that out at the local store and paid too much for it, but it's one of those things you got to have in your collection, I think, right?
Let me know when you're ready to roast a pig. I'll be over. Okay.
I don't think I'm ever going to open it up because between you and me, I don't really like Whistle Pig that much. I just kind of wanted the piggy bank. So,
It's hilarious.
so there you go. That's added to the
Oh,
collection. And
that's
but
hilarious.
so I was out with my son. We had to get some stuff for the party, so we went to the liquor store for the party, and I saw that it was the only one there. It's the only one I've ever seen, and so
Cool.
I grabbed it and I told him, Andrew, don't you say a word when I bring this into the house. And he's kind of a snitch as it is, but I got him to stay quiet, and all of a sudden, my wife walks down the stairs from getting ready, and she looks over and she says, "What the hell's that pig on the shelf? And how much did it cost?" And I was like, "Damn it." That one I could not hide. So anyway, so that is the latest addition to the collection. Now,
So what are
getting,
you drinking? What are you drinking today?
I'm going to tell you,
Oh,
getting into our first topic of the day, which will also
okay.
be my drink for the day, because I'm going to give a
Mm-hmm.
little review and a little backstory.
All
So
right.
most of our viewers and listeners are probably familiar with the grenade bottle with the horse on top, right?
Right.
This is Blanton's. This was one of my first kind of allocated upscale bottles. The MSRP on it, I believe, is something like 40 or 50 bucks, but you can't actually find that. You are always paying secondary for this if you can find a bottle. In our area, I have
Twice
found
that
it
or more,
for
right?
I have found it in stores for as little as 100. I haven't
Wow.
found it in a store for less than 100 yet, but I do happen to have a little bit of a connection around here, and so I get these bottles for between 65 and 85, so a little
Hmm.
bit more. These are made by Buffalo Trace, so this is going to be your same recipe as the Buffalo Trace bourbon. It's actually the same recipe as the Rock Hill Farms that I have up
Oh,
there, and as
really?
reviewed in the other episode, it's the same
Huh.
recipe as the Elmer T. Lee right there.
Huh.
They're all just a little bit aged differently and in barrels in different areas of the distillery. But
Right.
so this comes from the famous Warehouse H, where all the good stuff comes um, the
From
distillery.
Trace.
Warehouse H is the trick, and each one of these is a single barrel. So every
Wow.
Blanton's you buy will be a single barrel. So they all taste a little bit different, and because they come from Warehouse H, theoretically they're some of the best tasting of the bottles of the stuff that they make. Now, I'll tell you another secret with this. I'm going to pour a little bit for myself and tell you what I think of the taste. It is,
I want you were asking me about warehouses when I was down in Kentucky. I wonder if that's one of those brick ones. Probably is. It's one of
yes,
their older ones.
yeah.
Warehouse
It's
H.
called the Brick House.
Oh, there
So,
you go. Yeah, it's brick.
yeah.
Yep.
So, this one was the whiskey was dumped on 12/15/21. So
Hmm.
it's got a few years since it's been poured out from I'm sorry, Rick House 55. So it comes from Rick House. I don't know. But it's 93 proof. And it's a good proof. It's not too hot. I do like hot stuff, but it's a nice
Right.
smooth drink. And I'll give my review in a second. But before I talk about that, one of the most distinctive things about Blanton's, as most people know, is it comes in this grenade bottle, which is distinctive in and of itself. But on top of that, literally and figuratively, each bottle comes with this horse figuring on top. Now, to the naked eye, if you don't know any better, all the horse figurines look the same, but each has its own distinctive pose. And so if you put, there's 8 bottle tops. If you put all the bottle tops together in a row, it makes like a rider riding a horse in a race and kind of like slapping him to go faster kind of thing, and the horse trotting.
Huh.
So if you look at each bottle top, each one has a different letter. And as I say, there's 8 different bottle tops that spell out Blanton's. Okay. So these are collectors. This one is the S. And then what you can do, like I have here, there are staves that are out there or collectors plates like this that are out there where you'll see here, I already finished one bottle. So when you finish a bottle, you add your bottle top to that and you make, as these things go around, it will have the
Right.
trotting horses. Now, on top of that, that a lot of people don't know is once you collect the 8 bottle tops, you can actually send those into Buffalo Trace, and for free, Buffalo Trace will take the bottle tops and put them on a stave for you and send you back the whole thing as a collector's piece.
Oh, cool.
So that is something cool that they do. Now,
I got a question. Is there a space in the middle of that for the current bottle you're drinking? Is that what did I see like a slot in the middle?
yes, mine has it. See, like
Mm-hmm.
that. And
Ah,
mine actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on camera, but it lights up. So at nighttime, the bottle
oh,
is.
cool.
Um,
So where
so
did you get that plate? Where did you get that from?
I think I got it from Amazon. No
Oh,
responsible.
okay. Yep.
Um, so one of the things that I liked best about this when I first tasted it was it
Mm-hmm.
had a very distinctive texture. It was almost syrupy. It was thick, molassesy, syrupy, which was was really good. It's not a thin
Mm-hmm.
kind of young bourbon. It's a very nicely aged. What is the age on this?
You said it's 2015, so
Well,
that
it
would
was
be
poured in 21. I think the age is
oh,
about 8 years, something like that.
okay.
Um,
So
but
similar to what I'm drinking, 6 to 8 years, basically the larceny.
yeah, it's the taste is the consistency is thick like
Hmm.
molasses syrup. The nose that you get is very sweet, honey, vanilla, kind of that classic bourbon smell, but very sweet honey.
Yeah, honey. I get a heavy honey out of this too. Honey and vanilla. Oh, it's
And
so good.
it's delicious. It doesn't hurt going down. It's especially for kind of a beginner looking for his or her first allocated bottle, spend a little bit more on and get a really nice, mature flavor and complex flavor. This is a really good bottle to start on, not going to your straight to your $1,000 pappy or anything like this.
Right.
But the Blanton's is probably a good first allocated bottle, and it is so delicious. Just a little bit of a bite, not harsh on the back end or anything, just enough to keep it interesting and sweet and honey, and it's
It's
just delicious.
interesting you say that. Like I said, this is 123 proof. I think it is. What did
Yeah.
I say? 100, no,
One,
120, 126.4. So what's cool about this? It is so smooth. It has a little bit of heat, not much, that hits you about in the middle to the end, but it's nothing hot really. It's great in the wintertime. That's why I picked it up
right.
recently. But it's just smooth on the front end. It drinks smooth right through, and it's very complex. There's a lot going on in there. That's why I like this.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Now I compare that to the Elijah Craig barrel proofs back there. The Elijah Craig barrel proofs are hot.
Elijah Craig, I have never tried an Elijah Craig. I'm gonna have to pick one up. What would you suggest as a good first Elijah Craig? Should I try the rye? Or should I
Um,
try the
I'm just
barrel
looking.
proof?
So, I mean, the standard bottle
Right,
is this, which is the small batch.
right.
I've seen the rye in the store. I mean, this is a good standard bottle all day long, just your run of the mill. But if you want to up the game a little bit, I have a couple back here, which you have the barrel proof ones are really good, and then if you can find one, I happen to have a couple extra here. If you can find one, the toasted barrel, the Elijah Craig
Oh
toasted barrel,
yeah, I think
is
I
a
heard a
highly sought after
review.
bottle,
Yeah,
and
they said it was
it
really
has a
good.
great kind of s'more marshmallowy burnt
Mm,
marshmallow kind of taste, toasted kind of taste.
cool.
And I mean, if you want to spend just a little bit more and you can actually find it in a store, the toasted barrel is probably the next step up that I would take.
Okay, cool.
So, so anyway,
Good
that's your
deal.
rundown on Blanton's. The whole Buffalo Chase, all their products, I think,
Yeah.
are excellent. They all kind of have that similar recipe, but just differ a little bit of where they're aged, where the barrel was, what the proof is, but they're all excellent. So
I like the regular Buffalo Trace for summertime. It's like a real light type drink.
now that you bring that up, just real quickly.
I mean, Eagle Rare is good
So
anytime,
when
but
I was in Chicago about a month or so ago, I picked this up there, and this is their
kosher.
kosher recipe of the straight rye, and it is phenomenal.
I've never seen or heard of that before.
You can't find it around here anywhere. This the first time I've ever seen it is out in the Midwest at
Kosher,
that store. And
kosher straight rye. I gotta write
yeah,
that
their
down.
kosher recipes, they have a wheat recipe that's kosher. I
Huh?
have straight rye and the regular rye recipe. I haven't tried the regular rye yet, but the straight rye kosher Buffalo Trace is very good.
Huh?
Very easy drinking. So that is your bourbon rundown for the day. I know we covered a lot of different drinks here, but
Yeah,
that
mine's a
look,
wheat based bourbon too. Actually,
yeah,
this one here, same
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So
Cool.
all right. So before we get into our bike topics for the day, I want to give you a little rundown on some of the projects that I've mentioned in the previous episodes. The first one that I want to talk to you about is, if you remember, I got the Sensa Empire group set for my trainer bike. And if you remember, I got it off of AliExpress, installed it on the bike, and after two shifts, the shifter
Like,
broke. And
click.
I was very unimpressed with the feel of the group set. The rear derailleur felt really flimsy and like it was going to snap at any second. And it didn't. I made the comment. It didn't line up with the comments that I saw online. And so what I did was I bought an identical model set from Amazon
Amazon. Yeah.
as opposed to AliExpress. If you remember, the AliExpress one just came in a regular cardboard box, no official packaging or anything. And I suspected it might be a knockoff or counterfeit. So the Amazon version came in the other day. Sure enough, it came in an official Sensa Empire box with all the manuals. I picked up all of the components and they felt heavy and solid and durable, like a totally
Breathe a sigh of relief.
yeah, and so kind of because now I've paid for two group sets, and so now, and this goes back to the remarks that we made previously
Ah,
about buying Chinese goods. You just have to be careful where you buy from. AliExpress, I
right.
do not trust nearly as much as Amazon, and again, it proved
Mm-mm.
itself here. So I wrote the seller on AliExpress and asked for a refund, and they gave me all kinds of grief about a refund with no sellback. I have to show that it doesn't work and how it's set up on the bike and all kinds of stuff. AliExpress ended up stepping in and said, "Okay, if you send it back, we'll give you your full refund." Which I don't care. I'll send it back. I don't want to keep that crap. But I was very disappointed with the AliExpress version that came to me, and I do believe it was a knockoff. I'll be installing the Amazon official version, which again feels much more robust and durable, and giving my review on that. But that was the update on that project. The other project is the Elves Falleth Evo bike that I finally put together, the Henry Martin Law bike, and I showed you pictures of that. I'll post
That is
pictures here while we're
amazing.
talking. What
The
what are your
paint
thoughts on
job.
that? Right?
Wow. Well, I had to look at it three, four times when I was like, is that two different bikes or what? I'm like, is ruby red slipper looking and then the next thing it's black stealth. I'm like, what the heck?
Right.
That's the
Right.
same
So,
bike?
so
I
the paint
thought
that
that
I
you get
got
two bikes.
The paint that I got is, and again, we reviewed. You can custom paint these bikes. Pick your paint color. Pick your how it's going to be designed. I
Oh
went
my
with a
gosh.
my brand colors for my law firm are red and black. So they had this holographic red to black paint that, depending on where you stand in the sunlight or what your angle is, it could look black one minute, it could look red one minute. In fact, it looked purple at one point. So
Really?
didn't have great sunlight that day, so I can't wait to see it on a truly sunny day. But the build, I'm gonna do a full review, a two-part review that I'm gonna actually put up through this channel,
Right.
and that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks about the
Cool.
whole ordering process and the build process. I couldn't have been, just in short summary, couldn't have been more pleased with the bike. They sent me parts for the Di2 battery, which I don't use. I don't use Di2, but they gave you a part for that. They gave you on the seat post. You know how some saddles have a thicker carbon rail? They
Yeah.
gave you the clamp for both the carbon rail and the regular rail, like down to that
Really?
specificity. I mean, just
Huh.
incredibly well thought out. And the
Hmm.
whole ordering process was incredible. I haven't ridden it. I can't
I'm
wait to ride
curious what
it,
the
and I
ride quality is like. I'm really
yeah, my
curious to
full
see.
review. But and
Cool.
while we've been talking here, I'll actually insert the pictures of it that I have
Hmm.
on this video, so everyone can see it, and then I'll do a full review.
Cool.
And then tonight, I'm going to start the Monster Cross project of taking my son's old mountain bike and turning it into a Monster Cross bike. And so I'll give updates on that as well.
But I have two quick updates on
Yeah.
refunds. So the Glenn's Barrel, right? Remember I said my Visa gave me a credit? They didn't give me a credit yet. They sent me an update after 3 weeks. Said we've contacted them. We're still working on it, and we'll let you know. It might take another 30 days. So here I am, what, 6 weeks waiting for my bourbon, and now I'm going to be 6 weeks waiting for my credit.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get one. So that's that. Um, the cast proton helmet, I didn't like the color. I sent back to DSTNC, I think it is, in San Francisco. They did give me a credit the day they got it, so that was good. I got my credit for that.
So my Proton helmet came in, I believe, the same day yours did.
Yeah,
I love mine. It came in that red, glossy red color, and wore it down when I was cycling down in Outer Banks,
they're
and
very light, aren't they?
it was super light, super comfortable, great ventilation. I couldn't be happier with it, you know?
It's lighter than my existing proton helmet,
Yeah,
I think, a little bit. So
yeah. And not much of an aero loss over their true aero helmet. So
no,
that
cool.
was a great buy.
So that's my
So
update.
let's talk today about e-bikes. And I can't wait to give my perspective and opinion on that. But before I jump into that, I want to hear what your opinion is on
Oh,
e-bikes. It's a very
you know,
contested, highly debated topic.
it is. It's funny. I was on a YouTube last night. I signed up with the Dirty Kittens to do like their winter training series. So they were going over the regulations last night on YouTube, on a YouTube live. And I saw in the notes, no e-bikes.
Yeah.
Can't use an
Yeah.
e-bike to record your Strava ride, whatever. Which I was like, that's good. But so here's my take. I mean, I don't think e-bikes are going away. I don't know what the percentage of sales are these days on e-bikes versus regular bikes. That's something maybe I'll look into and report next time out. But they're just, you see more and more of them. I almost see one every time I go for a ride on the CNO anymore.
Yeah.
And I cringe when I see somebody coming at me on one because they're always going too fast, number
Right.
one. Um, God bless them. I mean, if they have a handicap that they doesn't allow them to ride, I think it's good for them that they can get out. But I think there needs to be a protocol. You know, there's a protocol for riding a bike, depending on where you're riding. Everybody has laws on trails and things. Not that everybody reads it, but there's some general rules like, you know, say on your left when you're passing,
Right.
slow down when you're coming up with a family walking with kids or a dog. But I swear they're just like 30 miles an hour through any situation. They never
Yeah.
yell out on your left. They just come flying up behind you, a lot of people. And I guess it's because they never rode a regular bike. So they think they're only on a motorcycle or a moped
Right.
that they can just go full barrels. They don't have to say anything, go whizzing past people. And I just hope I don't get in an accident with one because I'm liable to get into
Yeah.
a fist fight with somebody if they knock me over, you know. But that's the only thing I have a gripe with is that they don't have etiquette. And maybe it's because nobody trained them. So I don't know how that's going to improve going forward. But that's my only gripe about them. God bless, you know, if it's a veteran that can't ride or
Right.
whatever, missing a limb or something, that improves their lifestyle, good for them, or their
Yeah.
health, whatever. But I just see sometimes people that are overweight, and again, they're overweight, they can't ride a bike. Okay, get an e-bike, get out in nature. That's going to help you feel
Right.
better. But follow the etiquette of wherever you're riding. That's my
Yeah.
biggest gripe. Uh,
Well,
how about you?
my biggest gripe is seeing a healthy 27-year-old on an e-bike out there. And like it just the whole point of cycling is to better your heart and your health condition. So
Right.
so now instead of using your heart, you're just going to rely on technology. Like it absolutely kills me. How lazy and entitled is this younger generation that they can't even pedal bikes anymore. Now they have to have a motor
It's
doing it for
it's
them.
like immediate gratification with
Yeah,
technology. You know,
exactly. I,
that's
I want to get out and be a 30-mile-per-hour rider automatically.
right.
So now, I fully agree with you. If you're overweight or you're older or you have heart problems or you have
Handicap,
some
whatever.
disability, that is better than sitting on your couch. And I applaud all
Right.
those people that are taking their first steps to get
Right.
outside, get the fresh air, try to get
Right.
healthy, and need a little help doing that. That's awesome. But I don't want to see a healthy 27-year-old just trying to, and the mountain bikes are the same thing as you're talking about. They're out there on the trails like
Yeah.
going crazy
On
because,
mountain bikes, there's
oh
e-bikes on the
yeah,
mountain. Yeah, I guess that's a thing
because
too now.
they have an e-mountain bike. Now,
Hmm.
to your point also, I think they're here to stay. Now, all bike sales right now are trending sharply downward, so I think it's all going to be relative, but they're certainly not going away. I think, there's a lot of positives about using them as commuter bikes, and a lot of people are now commuting on bikes as opposed to cars, which is great. That's fine. Um, and so I think as a commuter, kind of using it the way people sometimes use segways or scooters or
I see that
stand
a
up.
lot. There's a couple guys that are up and down my local road into town. They probably ride to work every day on the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
Great.
perfect for that. But I
Yeah.
don't want to see some healthy 27-year-old roadie or mountain biker out there just using this thing so that they can go
Right.
faster than everyone else and not have to put in the effort that they otherwise would. So,
I'm just sitting here thinking. So we're both healthy, generally healthy riders. Been riding a long time. One application that I might consider getting an e-bike if I went, say, to Italy to the Dolomites, and I'm gonna ride for 7 days and do 10,000 climbing every day. I might get an e-road bike for that little
I would.
help. You would.
If you're healthy enough to do it, then do it on your own. Otherwise, it doesn't count. You might
That's
as well
true.
not a car. You might as
If,
well drive a car up the
if I
Dolomite.
scaled the Smokies with 30 pounds, I think I could scale the Dolomites probably, right?
Exactly. Exactly. We did just fine on that ride. Speaking of, while I was down in the Outer Banks, I watched the videos about the Pants route
Oh, they do.
several times, and I started getting pretty excited. So I've started my training. I'm getting my
Mm-hmm.
legs underneath me. So
Cool.
I hope you are as well. Pretty soon, I'm going to start sending you information about the routes and where we can stay and stuff like that.
Cool. I might go out today. It's actually nice out. It's like
I
50
did a trainer
degrees, I
ride this
think.
morning. I gotta work
I
this
gotta get
afternoon.
out.
All
Cool.
right. So good discussion on e-bikes.
Yep.
Please, for the viewers, let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments section. We love to hear what the general public is saying about e-bikes. I know there are some opinions going
I
both
mean,
ways.
I see people asking where can I get an e-bike on Facebook just about every week.
Yeah.
Somebody's looking for one.
Ugh,
It's like, ugh.
ugh, it disgusts me. Uh, all right. So moving on to our last topic of the day, our New Year's resolutions. Blaise, what are your New Year's resolutions this year?
I totally forgot about thinking about my New Year's resolution for
My
this
New Year's
year.
resolution is to be more prepared.
Yeah, right. um, initially I would say I'm going to ride more, but this year I said I was going to do 4,000 miles. I think I was just shy by a couple hundred miles.
Yeah.
To me anymore, it's not about how far, but again, the quality of the rides and what I'm going to do and where I want to go to meet people. So I think I want to get to Colorado again this summer. I just talked to my cousin a couple weeks ago. She said she's going to be traveling to Europe. So she goes, if you want to come out, come on out. I was like, I'll be
Nice.
out. She's going spring and fall. So I'll have to figure out when I want to go to Colorado again and explore some new places. For me, again, it's all about exploring where's a new good adventure, like we're talking about with the Pennsylvania route. Um, I want to do more connection with partners outside of Maryland for my health insurance business. That's a priority. And maybe start a new podcast on how small business owners can create partnerships to improve their sales and bottom line. So that's something, if I'm going to do it, I should get off my butt and do it soon, do another podcast on that topic. So that's on the top of my radar, and grow my photography business.
Mm.
I did a couple events last year. I'm not sure which direction I want to go. I want to keep doing that in the new year and maybe create some new things. What do you think about this idea? I thought about, I have a good connection with all these cyclists. Everybody likes a picture of their bike and them and their bike. So maybe think about putting a package together and say, hey, for X amount, take a picture of you and your bike and or your bike shots and give you some really good shots for
Okay.
portfolio. So that's something I was thinking about.
That's not bad.
That's about it for me right now. I think stay healthy, obviously, and focused and positive mindset as always.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
Um, I think several, I don't have a whole huge set, but one, I would like to ride more, and I would definitely like to do at least one adventure bike packing trip. I really want to get that. I mean, I know we kind of did in the Smokies, but it wasn't what we really wanted. I wanted a big epic adventure, and as we've told people, we're putting something together right now. I was also watching videos while I was down the Outer Banks about the Great Divide, which I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
that's
it's
a
cool.
3 week long kind of deal, though. I don't know that I have that kind of time, but I would
Yeah.
love to maybe someday do something like that. But the
So would
pants route for
I.
now, I think, is going to suffice. It's probably a 4 day trip, 3 overnights, and that would be a big thing to kind of bite off and chew on.
Right.
So that's one. Probably keep up with my physical exercise and nutrition is always one that I have at the top of my list. The third one is I'd like to actually write a book this year.
Oh,
Planning
wow.
on putting a book together about how to start a solo law firm like I've done for myself. And
Cool.
I'm going into my 7th year now. So I've seen some things and I've learned some things and I think I have some things to share. So maybe put together a book and I can produce myself and sell on Amazon and see where it goes.
On that topic, you should have a conversation with my other half here. She's writing a book right now. She's been working on,
Oh yeah,
and so she's got a lot of good. She researched a lot on what you should do, how
yeah,
format, how to market it. So I think she's almost done with her book. She's been working on it for like
very
six
cool.
months. Yeah.
Wow. Very
Hmm.
cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna start. I was gonna dive into that when I was in Outer Banks, but like I've told you before, we had a house down there until last April, and
Right.
every time I went down, it was me working on the house while everyone else got to vacation, relax. And so this year I said, nope, I am just going to
Just
vacation and
relax.
relax. I'm not going to start any new projects. Just chill. So I
Right.
didn't start it, but I'll be getting on it.
Cool.
So anyway, so 2024 sounds like it's going to be a good year for both of us,
Yep.
and look forward to keeping up this podcast and seeing what we can make of this project, and then all the other bike projects that I have going on right now. So
Cool. So next week, here's what we got up. I thought it might be fun for us both to talk about our favorite places to ride and why. For a
okay,
simple topic. That would be fun. What we ride throughout the year, why we like to go ride there, and talk about it in a little more detail where we
yeah,
ride. So that's one. On the business side, I thought about, and this is something, they say to do at this time of year, reflect on your accomplishments of 2023, what you learned, how you can apply that going forward. And that's something I always did through the years of my business, looking back daily, let alone annually, on what did you accomplish and what can you take from that to move forward into the new year. So I thought that'd be a simple topic to talk about.
great. That
That's
sounds
what we
good.
got.
I
Yeah.
like it. Well, again, to all the listeners and viewers out there, if you can like and subscribe, it really helps us out a lot. And hopefully, you can share with us your New Year's resolutions, your feelings on e-bikes. We'd love to hear them. Let us know if you like Blantons, if you dive into that as well, and maybe what your favorite bourbon of the year is going to be this year. And we look forward to hearing those thoughts. So,
Yeah, and take a look at that. Was it episode 6 or 7 where we talked about the online shopping? Let me know if anybody had success
yeah, 7.
checking out some of those links, or the links for bike rides in 2024.
Yeah,
So,
episode 8 just went up as of today, now right before
right.
we started recording. So 8 episodes out there to dive into. If you're going on a long road trip or something, great podcast to listen to, and hope you enjoy it. So
All
until
right.
next time, Blaise, thank you very much. Stay healthy. And we'll have to hop on a bike ride here sometime soon. So,
Yeah, definitely. All right. Take care, Hank.
all right.
See you next week.
Peace.
Bye.